big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut this.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Time of the ending. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Back.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
But we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
In his 13th NFL season now, Ted Ginn, still a reliable target for Drew Brees. 787 yards in 2017, just 5 games last year due to injuries, but he still has the wheels.
Brees now. Ginn has it complete. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And the Buccaneer defense for the second straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss.
Ready. Yellow lady. Yellow lady.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brees. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
5-9. Check mark 45. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 8 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
The Bucs take over first and 10.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
47, check right 47. Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Marcus Davenport in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 4th down, and the Bucs trot out the former 49er Bradley Pinion to punt it. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 10 yards, good for the Saints, 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it's caught. The tight end Hill. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
It used to be that if you were a big wide receiver and the coaches wanted to make you a tight end, you resisted the move. Now it's almost a glamour position because they have the mismatch advantage. Are you going to cover them with a linebacker? They're probably faster. A defensive back? They're going to be bigger. Tight end is the new big-time position.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Jackson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Kiko Alonso in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now 13-7. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Set. 95-56. 95-56. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. He's going to field this at the 4. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. That's caught by Howard. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 23 yards the pick up there.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check 50. Check 50. Short. Mike's 47. Let it go.
Play action. Now Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Sheldon Rankins has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Ready? 56. Mike. Trot. I smell fear in that offense.
To throw on 3rd down. Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, easy. Check the call. Check.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Breeze. And Ginn's got it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Breeze to another longtime vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
And the Saints first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Breeze now to throw. And he finds Cook. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 43. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Check. Kill.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
First down.
Ready?
Saints.
You ready?
Mike 45. Watch the out.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Breeze. Well, this is caught by Ginn. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 14. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Breeze. eluding the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Right there.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, maybe said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Lutz's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 44 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
That's it, baby. Here we go. With the Pittsburgh. Check 56. Get your swerve on. Yeah. Motion. Mike 56. Mike 56. Record. 56 to Mike.
From the gun, Jackson. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, Jackson. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
What? Go. 55. Mike 55. Hey, eat. Hey, let's get this. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Hey, switch gears. Watch the twist.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the Buccaneer kicker, Matt Gay. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Gay knocks this one through. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick.
Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, box drop. 54.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Thomas has got it. Complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at halftime. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He finds his target. It's Evans. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Back to you.
Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. This is fielded at the 7. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Second and 10 now from the 27. On the ground, Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Now Breeze on third down. Looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Gay is on for the point after. And the lead is down to 2. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Airing it out deep for Smith. It got his man complete. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Here's Breeze to throw. And this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off down at the 10. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. He'll find Barber out of the backfield. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Sheldon Rankins in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded just inside the 30. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one good for 37 yards. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Yellow lady, number 53, Mike 53. Hey, what's the flag?
Now Breeze. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Back now in Tampa, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter.
We play to win. Let's go!
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40.
47 Mike, 47 Mike, 47. Coming, baby, I'm coming, baby. Woo! 47's the Mike, boy, 47.
From the gun, Jackson. Steps away to his left. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. 11 yards there, first down.
Let's go, baby.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
56, check 56. I got you.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it here with Logan, and he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining. And
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. It's a kickoff return of 94 yards, and the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead is now 13.
Makes the score Saints 33, Buccaneers 20.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time, and they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Breeze now. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he had to get this down to the 15. He won't make it. He's a yard or 2 short. A short gain there of just 4. That'll bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
He's got a man, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
47's the mic. 47's the mic. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Jackson operating from the gun. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Marcus Davenport, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22. And the pressure gets to him again. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
56, check 56.
Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore right there on the coverage. He was draped all over it. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Good coverage that time by Patrick Robinson. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the other expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
A man who's been busy this afternoon is Kamara again. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
And they take a knee. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
You got 3 down, 3 down.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for New Orleans, the great run they've been on continues.